You have all been hired by none other than Dr. Arthur Glass. Some of you have heard of him, some of you have not, but the money is good. And you are paid half up front for this voyage overseas with him and his wife. He hired you all very specifically, and as you set off on this journey, you couldn't help but wonder why he hired such a range of characters. And you've all met each other briefly over a light lunch before boarding the ship those few days ago. I would say you would know each other's occupations or what you were hired on for, and then just a little description of how your character presents themselves.
Count Mcclintock is a burly, gruff, and unkempt man in his 50s. He's quite a large build. Could have been a linebacker in his youth. A scar runs down his left cheek and disappears into his beard. His clothes are stained and worn. He looks like he has been probably living on the rougher side of life. More recently, probably drinks a little bit too much. Often gives people long stares. Studying. Being a detective of the LA police force, he knows his way around anything that might need investigating, crime scenes or and the such, and he's seen a fair few things in his time. He can see the signs.
Everett Evie Lewis is longing for this journey to utilize his eye for value in art, artworks, sculptures, etc. Very clean and well-kept individual, tight, very well-fitted clothes. Keeps his hair every little bit perfect. A little smug, maybe. Very often not without a cigarette. Enjoys maybe being a little extravagant about what he does.
Emily O'Hara grew up in London, but is an archaeologist and a professor of archaeology, particularly at City University of New York now. She's upper middle age, very upright, very proper, and always wears gloves, as she has a distaste for germs. She's generally very formal, very standoffish, but not uncordial as the situation may require.
Sebastian Hughes, sort of very sharp, narrow-faced, sort of clean-shaven looking man, with very like slicked back hair, and very like short shaved sides, very like kind of like Peaky Blinders hair, is sort of the look. Very well put together, wearing very fancy clothes. And sort of like a very like nice blue vest, rolled up shirt sleeves, sort of black hair, tannish skin, sort of just very skeptical of what is about to happen, but very interested. And I would say, he is here as a priest for the ship. So
I'll say you're on your probably second day together. The small talk introductions kind of got out of the way on the first day. Most of that was making your sleeping quarters comfortable for a somewhat long journey. And you currently sit at a dining table together on the open deck, enjoying a well-cooked meal. It is the evening of your second day, and Dr. Glass holds up his champagne glass, and upon finishing the bite of food he had left, he dabs his black, pencil-thin mustache in his lips with his napkin, and he clears his throat. He holds up his glass. To this journey, and to new discoveries, but most importantly, to the health of everyone on board. He waits for you to hold up your drink. And then he says through a hearty smile, cheers, and downs some of his champagne. I appreciate your cooperation, knowing so little about our journey. My wife, you see, she is quite ill, and I have researched a more progressive form of treatment, originating in Africa. Seems quite ancient if my sources are correct, hence my reasonings for hiring some of you. And he kind of looks more towards Emily and Everett. Finishes his sentence by downing some more of his champagne, one of those like, drinking or eating to keep from continuing to talk too much. And the table falls silent once again.
Well, I know why I'm here. I've spent a fair amount of time south and east, but the rest of you, I'm intrigued, especially you, Mr. Mcclintock, was it?
Yeah.
What is your speciality?
I'm a detective. I detect. I spot the bad guys. Defeat the bad guys.
See any bad guys here, Clint?
That'd be telling, wouldn't it?
Known to be a bit of a bad guy. If you're interested.
Really?
Already starting fights, my goodness. The company you keep, Dr. Glass.
Well, Emily, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Goodness. Well.
Dr. Glass just kind of chuckles and finishes the rest of his champagne. Well, if you don't mind, I am off to bed for the evening, I think. Let's go check on the missus. And he stands up, excuses himself, sets his napkin down, and leaves to head down into the lower deck, leaving just the four of you at this table together.
as soon as he stands up, I also stand up, and I will just sort of bow, and then as soon as he leaves, I will sit back down.
All right, yeah, he's kind of caught off guard by this. Like, he goes to walk, and he gives you a little kind of bow back, and there's this just little smile, and he turns and continues down to his sleeping quarters.
Quite a formal fellow, aren't you?
Yes, I try to be when someone is as generous as Mr. Glass to provide us such an income for a very interesting trip.
Interesting, indeed. Not
Not
sure
much we know about it.
exactly. I don't think any of us are very aware of what we're getting into.
Well, that's part of what makes it interesting.
Fan of adventures.
You want to call it that?
Well, no one ever
Well-
paid me a lot of money for something easy.
You all usually do this sort of, I don't know, freelance work? Is that what they call it?
Are you talking to me?
To the group. I mean,
Oh.
I spend most of my time at the museum or at the university. This was I'll be honest, an offer I couldn't quite refuse. So I'm just interested. I mean, I don't know how these little team ups work.
I most definitely do a lot of freelance work. It is part of the gig, I suppose.
At this point, you see a few of the hired on staff members kind of walk up and they start clearing some of your plates and drinks as you're finished. They don't really say anything to you, but if you acknowledge them, they're polite back and just collect up some items and head down to clean them up.
I will make sure everything is sort of like properly stacked, so it's easier for them to pick up. And I will thank them, whoever comes and picks up my stuff.
I will make sure he finishes his drink before they take it away.
Yeah, there's like a little bit left, and they go to grab onto it, and you kind of hold out your hand and finish it off, then hand it back, and they're like, sorry, sir. And they just head on. The sun is setting. I will leave this up to you for how much experience your characters would have on a ship. But you've been out at sea for over 24 hours at this point, and there's just that constant creaking and rocking and the occasional just movement of the water underneath you as you're pushing forward on this journey to Africa, apparently.
Emily has gone to digs all over the world, so she's very much accustomed to this. So she's just sitting very, like, right at the edge of her seat, drinking her tea, just like unflappable.
I would say this is probably Sebastian's first time on the sea, so looking a bit queasy, but trying to keep it in for sure. So trying to keep it together, but definitely a little uncomfortable.
After dinner had wrapped up, I probably would have lingered a little bit to maybe try and catch attention of one of the waiters and see what he was up to after his shift. To maybe get some company for the long, rough journey. The only experience I'd have with a ship would be in the artwork that I've seen many of. Certainly a new experience for myself as well.
Cal would probably have a little, not a patrol, but just sort of go out on the deck and sort of have a little walk around in the night air, smoke a cigarette on his own, just sort of keeping an up. You know, if anybody's doing anything, he'll watch deckhands or whatever, just musing his own musings.
Okay. What are Sebastian and Emily doing for the evening?
I think Sebastian is going to stay out on the deck at the dining table for as long as he can possibly muster. Pull out a deck of playing cards and sort of just rearrange them, just mess around with them and sit there.
Okay.
That's about it. sort of get used to being out on the sea. Is basically he's like forcing himself to stay there.
Yeah.
So Emily will stay at the table, probably reading some book she brought along. But at one point, she'll see that Sebastian's a little uncomfortable with the bobbing and the whatnot, and say, Mr. Hughes, they might have lemon or ginger. It helps settle the stomach. If you'd like, we can ask one of the servants for some.
We'll see how long I last, and then maybe I will take you up on that offer. I do like to try and push myself, see how long I can stay before something comes back up, which may not be very long, but we're going to try. Tell me, Miss O'Hara, do you play cards by chance?
I've seen my students play. I'm not one for such frivolities, but in the interest of camaraderie, I could certainly try.
Not much good at it myself, but I can try and teach you. Out of character, I do not know a good two-person card game besides Go Fish. What was it?
War.
Or blackjack.
Okay. Or blackjack. Okay, yeah. We'll play a game of blackjack.
All right. I'm not so good at it myself. Got to Go Fish.
It's a good game, all right? It's perfect for the thief. Yeah. I am going to, though, purposely lose if I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the two of you playing cards, Evie goes, kind of follows one of the waiters into this back area. How this ship is set up, you have your deck where it's got, you have a little mini bar out here. You have your dining tables that are like bolted into the floor, and then to go below deck, there is a left staircase and a right staircase, and the right staircase leads to your sleeping quarters, while the left one seems to lead to more of the staff area, and there's like a lounge out at the very end. So you kind of follow down that hallway, and what is your credit rating?
I think 50.
50? Okay. I will say you are definitely able to get one of these.
Entice.
Yeah, entice. There we go. That's the correct word. One of these waiter or waitress. What's your preference?
Waiter.
All right. They finish up their shift and follow you back to your sleeping quarters. As for Cal, I am going to have you make a sanity roll for me.
I got 34.
34 out of 65. Okay. So you are able to kind of patrol this upper deck. And everything seems fine. Was there anything you wanted to add to this card game?
If we play a second round, if you would like. Sebastian is going to pull out some money and put it on the table, and look at you and go, would you mind just trying to maybe indulge me, I suppose, and maybe putting some money down, and we can see how well this goes? And I will put down $10.
Emily will look at it and look. I don't want to say quite she purses her lips because she's not that but she just a little distasteful. My parents, they raised me to be smart with my money and to be cautious when it came to throwing it off the side of a boat, if you will. So I appreciate the invitation, but certainly for something like this that I have only ever tried once, I'd rather not. I hope you understand.
I mean, is it truly being cautious if you know you potentially will win?
You flatter me, Mr. Hughes, that you think that I will win twice in a row on something I've only just learned to do.
Told you I'm not very good at it, but I don't, let's just say it motivates me a bit to put some money down on something.
No. You know, but how about this? We split your money.
Oh.
I won't keep it myself, but we can use it as a, what do they call them? Chips?
All right. You know what? Actually, I tell you what. If you win this round, then we'll say the money is yours, and I will put more money down, and then you put some of your own money down, and then you know that you've won already 2 out of 3, and you can keep my money if you win the 3rd round. All of it.
Young man, I've been working at the university for many years. $10 is not the kind of money that will make and break my existence.
No, but it is a start.
We'll do the 2nd round your way, but I'm afraid I don't carry money with me on a ship like this anyway, so it wouldn't really do you any good.
None at all.
Why
Not
would
even
I?
for trinkets when we get to where we're going, not even for
Oh, it's
maybe...
in my room.
Oh.
But I have nothing for our moment at the moment.
In your room, under lock and key, I suppose, under the bed.
Naturally. She looks at you a little suspicious.
You know what? I apologize. I shouldn't be pushing so hard. You're right. We can do it the way that you suggested for the 2nd round. And you know what? If you win, you can just keep the money. $10 is nothing. So.
Very sweet of you.
No one's letting anyone win. We are actually playing this round.
Sure, let's actually play it.
Why
this
not?
round.
Great. I have no idea what to make you roll for this.
I feel like luck would be...
I think luck is fantastic.
I rolled a 93 and my luck is 65. So...
I rolled a 73 and my luck is 65.
Ooh.
Okay, so Emily wins the round.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you. Emily will stand up when she wins and pick up her book and very pointedly slide the money back across the table and say, I bid you good night, sweet rest, and again, ginger and lemon. It'll help your stomach feel a little better.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Sweet dreams.
Of course. Likewise. So head off.
All right, and I think probably as you're heading off to, you see Evie and one of the waiters heading down into the sleeping quarters as well.
Just give, that was Emily going by, right?
Correct.
Just give Emily a, just big old shit grin and a wink as we head past. Good night, Miss O'Hara.
Blushes. Good night.
How long does Sebastian stay out on the deck?
Not much longer. I will pick up my money and my cards, and I will head to bed shortly after.
All right, Cal, as you're making your round, you do see Sebastian kind of standing up, collecting his things, and he's beginning to head toward the sleeping quarters as well.
You have a good evening.
You as well, sir.
So does that leave Cal as the only one up top now?
Yeah. I will wait another
I think he'll wander around for another 10 minutes, say, and just enough time to have another cigarette, and just sort of make sure nobody's waiting for it to quiet down and come out again. Just his.
Right. Go ahead and make. I'll let you choose spot hidden or listen.
Oh, okay. Oh, 40 on the nose. I had to beat 56.
Okay. You and this was spot hidden.
Spot hidden, yeah.
Okay. You're making like your last round, and out of the corner of your eye, you swear you see something in the water. Your head snaps over. You look. It's too dark. I mean, the sun has set now. It's just darkness across the entire sea besides the lights coming from the ship itself. You could swear you saw something darker moving. But it would have made some sort of sound, so you want to write it off, but something makes you want to look a little closer.
Okay. Yeah, I think he would give in to that curiosity and
walk over to the edge of the ship, kind of lean just a little bit, just to look, squint into this ocean. Go ahead and make another sanity roll for me.
86.
All right. You feel something watching, waiting deep beneath the surface. It kind of startles you coming to this realization, and you take a few steps back. You're probably going to do your best to keep a good distance from the edge from here on out. Starting to feel a little seasick.
Cal would defiantly throw his cigarette off the side of the boat and then make his way inside. But definitely keeping up appearances.
Sure. You head down. Everyone settles in for the evening, has their fun, gets their rest, and you all wake up the next morning. You hear the sound of the crew up top, probably getting your breakfast ready for you. But the morning is yours.
I'll roll over, shaking off struggles of waking up, kind of arm slapping over to the other side of the bed, realizing it's empty and chuckling a little bit. Remember kicking out my company a little early that morning. I wake up and just kind of light up a cigarette and just try to think about what the hell we're getting ourselves into, and grumble comes through my stomach, and I'm gonna head towards the galley.
Yeah, Emily's up early, dressed and proper. She triple checks that her money is hidden and hidden well, tucks her father's pocket watch into her skirts, and heads upstairs with a book and a notebook to breakfast. And remembering the layout of the seat, like where everyone was seated the day before, sitting a little farther from Sebastian, where Sebastian sat anyway. I know there's not like assigned seats, because she's a little Suspicious.
I will wait until everyone has gone to wake up and to leave my room.
In that case, Cal will emerge from his room wearing the same things that you saw him in the previous evening, and probably have seen in since you've seen him, since you first met him, and he will make his way to the breakfast and just sit down and sort of, if there's a coffee pot or something, he'll just pour himself a coffee and I mean you'll probably see that he's in thought, but he's thinking about what happened to him last night. Not that you know.
Yeah, you have, we'll say the three of you sit down, your breakfast is delivered, and there's coffee, there's tea, there's sweets. It's just a huge, it's the most expensive breakfast you've ever had. And Sebastian then walks up to join.
I would actually like to pause in front of Miss O'Hara's door, look around for a second. Is there anyone around?
Nope.
Okay. I would just like to test the lock on the door. Is it locked? It's locked. Okay. I will try it, and I will just nod, chuckle to myself, and I will walk back upstairs.
All right. You join the group upstairs. Breakfast is already underway.
This is probably the best stuff I've ever eaten since I was a child, which is saying something, so.
It's all right.
Oh, too inexpensive for your taste?
It's all the same. It's all about putting on a show.
Well, I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. And he starts piling up his plate.
I agree with him. I will also start piling a plate.
All right.
Yeah, you look like you were staring at one all night with not much sleep there.
What's it to you?
Just making conversation, friend.
Not so easy on boats. A lot of water underneath.
Is how they tend to work.
Give a little raise of my coffee over to Emily for the quip.
Cal's not quite. He doesn't know whether you're making a joke at him or with him. Yeah.
You wait a little while, and Arthur doesn't seem to be joining you for breakfast.
After probably 45 minutes, she's cleared her plate, very tidily set her cutlery the right way so that the servers know to take it away, finished her tea. She checks the pocket watch again, and then stands up. I think I'll take a quick walk around the deck. Don't want to get too complacent when we're stuck on such a small venue. Mr. Mcclintock, I mentioned to Mr. Hughes earlier, but lemon water and ginger tends to settle the stomach. You're looking a little green. I'm sure they have some around here.
Thanks for the advice.
She'll nod to the rest of you and walk away.
Bit odd. Mr. Glass is not joining us this morning. Don't you think?
I'd agree with that. Might be worth checking he's okay.
Would you like to join me, Mr. Fintock? Mr. Tom?
Sure.
Fintock. That is a word. Tongue twister. What about you, sir? I'll point to Everett. You want to join?
Just toast in the mouth. Sure. I think I'll tag along.
I will take a cup of coffee with me. And I don't actually. Do we know where he is?
You know where his quarters are. So the sleeping quarters, you head down the right staircase.
Okay.
And it splits off into 2 different hallways. All of your sleeping quarters are on the right hallway, and then Dr. Glass seems to have taken sleeping quarters on the left hallway. So you don't have a chance to run into each other in the hallway, if that makes sense. He kind of has the whole hall to himself.
Port side.
Yep. As we're walking down that hallway, I will just start whistling very loudly so people are aware I am walking down this hallway. Yeah. And then once we get to the door, I will knock 3 times and just go, Mr. Glass, are you joining us this morning? I would be very blessed to see your presence here.
Go ahead and make a persuade roll. What?
Can I make a charm roll instead?
Sure.
Cool. I got a 9 on that. I think. Yeah.
A 9%.
Yeah. And my charm is 40. So
Nice. You hear footsteps, and then the cabin door actually opens just a crack. You see him. He doesn't look like he's slept at all. He just looks very tired, but he smiles, and he's standing up straight with that just, proper demeanor he has had since you met him. And he just says, terribly sorry, the missus did not have a very good night. I think I'm gonna stay in today.
And bad dreams, seeing things off the side of the boat. I also brought you a cup of coffee in case you wanted it. I didn't know to bring one for her, but
He grabs it thankfully, and he nods and he says, we just need to get some rest. Excuse me. And he just shuts the door. You hear it lock.
Okay. That didn't go as I thought it would.
Sounds like more than one person's having trouble
Yes.
sleeping. And I find if you rock along with the boat, it makes it a lot easier.
Everyone's full of grand advice, aren't they?
What's your greatest piece of advice, Cal?
To what?
Anything. What can we learn from Mr. Mcclintock today?
Don't be the second one to fire your shot.
Good advice.
What if the first guy misses?
Bully for you. If it's shooting at you. If it's not, then you should be a better shot.
Emily, is there anywhere in particular you are heading, or are you just kind of wandering the deck?
So Emily will do some laps, just casually promenading, if you will. But we'll end at the front of the boat.
Okay.
And just, she's not gonna do the Titanic I'm flying thing, but she, for the first time, if nobody's around, no one would see it, but she actually removes her gloves and just holds them in her hands and just feels the sun on her face and her skin and just looks out at the expanse in the quiet for a moment.
All right. Our 3 coffee deliverers, do you head out of the sleeping quarters?
What do we know about our travel time? We're still in the middle of that?
Yes, you were vaguely told this could take a week and a half to 2 weeks. You're on day 3, I believe.
I'm sure we can find something to do without Mr. Glass's company.
Okay.
Was there anything in particular you were after, Sebastian?
Oh, I just wanted to say hello. It's incredibly rude to say to not say anything to the person who so graciously is hosting, even if they decide not to show their face. But I would love to go explore the ship a little bit more. Any of you want to come join?
Sure. Is there any kind of hands, waiters, crew about?
In the sleeping quarters, no.
Yeah. Just no. Okay.
None.
The first one he sees, a member of the crew, he will ask or tell, depending on how you want, to alert the ship's doctor, assuming there is a doctor, a other than Mr. Glass, a physician of some sort, if there is one, to just go and check in on the glasses, just to that Mrs. Glass seems to be unwell, and
Okay.
just to.
Yeah, you would easily run into one coming out of the sleeping quarters, like back up the stairs into like the main deck area. You tell them, they nod and they head off toward crew's quarters. So you stand on the deck. Coming out, you see a like a little mini bar to your left. Nobody's like behind the counter or anything. It's mostly for you to pour your own drinks if you'd like. And still morning, you hear the water slapping against the side of the ship. I'm gonna have Sebastian and Cal make a con roll.
Oh.
What if what I rolled is exactly what my con is?
You're good.
Okay, cool.
I got 24.
Okay. Yeah, it rocks and you just feel that queasiness in your stomach, but you're good. You're fine.
I look at the two of them and see them doing well, but still, fighting that off, and look towards the bar. How about some of that lemon and ginger that Miss O'Hara was so adamant about? Maybe a splash of gin inside as well?
Bourbon for me.
Okay.
Gin is fine for me.
I'll
We'll
head
make it
over
like
and-
2 splashes for me, potentially.
I'll head over and start making some drinks.
As for any ginger or anything like that, you'd probably have to hit the kitchens and talk to some of the crew for that. But anything for the drinks, that's all ready for you over at
I
the
can
side.
go run and get the ginger if you'd like. You can start making the drinks.
Can do.
All right.
Ask for Daniel. He'll hook you up.
Good to know. I'll just kind of give him a glance and I'll nod like in understanding, and then I will walk down and find Daniel. I have no idea what Daniel looks like, but I'm asking everyone, do you know who Daniel is? If you point me towards Daniel, please.
Yes, I need to speak with Daniel.
Daniel.
Okay. Yeah, you head down that left staircase. It's a hallway that has 3 doors. All 3 of them are labeled staff only, but they seem to just lead to different places. And then down at the end, it's an open doorway, or like a swinging door that leads to the lounge. You were shown the lounge when you first were like shown into the ship, but none of you have really. It's been very formal so far. But yeah, as you're walking down, you see someone come out of one of these doorways. It seems to be some sort of like linen closet or something. They're walking out with a few towels, and they almost bump into you, and they're like, "Oh, excuse me."
Do you mind helping me? I'm trying to find Daniel.
Okay, 1 second. And they're almost just like, what the fuck is up with Daniel? Like, why is every walk over they walk into the kitchen, they kind of leave the door open. You're able to see this ship's kitchen on the inside here, and you see some shelves holding various food items, cooking utensils and pans. And you just hear this man shout, "Daniel!" And someone turns around, and they look tired. They didn't quite get enough sleep. And at first, make a spot hidden roll. No? Okay. All right. Yeah, they walk over, and he looks possibly like he wasn't expecting you. And yeah.
Sorry, I know I tend to disappoint people when they see me, but I was looking for some ginger. I was told that it was very good for those who are feeling a little rough, which looks like you might need to use it as well. So would highly recommend to come up to the bar and maybe drink with us. But also I'm looking for ginger, so if all you can provide is ginger, I am very accommodating.
Us,
me, Mr. Mcclintock, and Mr. Lewis. Everett.
Oh,
Yes. You would be on first name basis with them, wouldn't you?
You see him blush, and I'll get your ginger, and he just turns around and heads off into the kitchen. You see the person that yelled for him is just looking like, what is going on in the ship right now?
It's just a conversation between 2 gentlemen.
He grabs the ginger and kind of hands it to you. He's like avoiding eye contact now at this point. Just hands you a little jar, and I'm on duty. I mean shift. I'm on shift. And he turns and heads back.
I'm just telling you, not judging. I very much understand. So have a good rest of your day. And I will walk back upstairs.
He kind of turns with a little look when you say you very much understand.
I wink at him.
You hear pans falling as you're walking away. He's definitely flustered at this point. Pans clattering. You hear Daniel. So you've acquired your ginger.
Ginger, from your favorite waiter, apparently. There you are.
Assume it's probably in root form.
Yes.
I have to, figure something out, shave it, muddle it, something, and we'll get it in there.
What is... Emily, you're able to hear just the sound of their chatter, but your view is obscured of them from like the captain's quarters and the actual like I don't know, boats. So where the captain is up here.
Yeah, Emily, hearing them and probably like done at least 1 or 2 laps, will put her gloves back on and join the group. She will reject the offer of a beverage, but Did you speak to Dr. Glass? Are
Yes.
they all right?
Does not seem so. Seems they didn't get enough sleep, which seems a few people on this ship didn't get enough sleep, so not sure what's happening there. It was very strange. Don't know what to make of it.
Not everyone's used to such accommodations. It's unsurprising, unfamiliar spaces. You don't sleep well. Occupy your time.
We know,
Right.
Miss Hera. You've been on a boat or two.
I've been very lucky. But I hope that helps, at least.
See? Cheers.
What have you been up to? Looking over at Emily.
Oh, just start to feel confined in places like, well, ships. You can't go anywhere past the railings, so I try to move a little during the day, or else I get a little stir crazy. And take a look out. I mean, it's quite the view. Water in every direction. It's exhilarating.
That's one way to put it.
You must make your own fun.
Give a wink back at that. So I have another sip.
Talking to people is fun. You seem to not want to be around any of us, which is a bit strange. I hope I didn't throw you off last night. I meant nothing by it.
Of course not. As I say, I like to keep moving, a woman of my age. But I mean, I'm here now, am I not? I mean, it's only been, she checks the watch, 20 minutes or so. We don't have to be attached to the hip the whole time.
Very right. I just feels a little bit better when we're all together. That way we know no one's sneaking around doing anything bad, I suppose.
Something happened between you two last night.
No.
Of course not.
No.
Just a small misunderstanding or disagreement, if you will.
Go, really awaken her like you did Mr. Glass this morning there, Sebastian?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm not completely uncouth. I tend to give a woman the space that she needs, and men. I just felt like going to see Mr. Glass. It felt a little weird to not see him.
Although,
If you hadn't done it, I would have, so.
See.
Mr. Hughes, you might find a willing participant in your gambling with the other two gentlemen. I'm happy to be a what's the word I'm looking for? Audience?
Peacekeeper. Do any of you play cards, perchance?
Have been known to.
You seem like you would. You just look very grizzled, like you would be very intimidating at a... Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah. And you?
Well, I'm not very grizzled at all. What do you think?
Oh,
Since we're making judgments here.
I wasn't making a judgment. I was just saying something that caught my eye. But you don't seem like you'd be playing cards. No, you seem a bit too fancy and...
Oh, I enjoy cards very much.
Oh. Would you like to play a game?
I think we have time.
Real money or fake money is my question to you two.
You have fake money.
Oh, well, we could use any of the bits and bobs around here, I suppose, as fake money.
You saying that Cal will go over to the, I assume it's some sort of buffet, and start picking up sort of like collections of foods that sort of like, like bread rolls of 500 or something, and baking up breadsticks and things. But here we go. You can use this.
Very ingenious. I will pull out my deck We can play a game of poker if you guys would feel up to it. I know it's a smaller group than you usually play with, but it should be fun.
Oh, I often play poker with just one other, so.
Understood. I will arrange the cards as so needed for only these two gentlemen.
Emily will sit at the table with her book and watch and read.
All right, so I will have the three of you make a luck roll, and then we can play that out as it falls.
38 out of 65. No.
67. I needed under 50, so.
A 1.
At a 1%.
A 1 and a double 0. Is that 1? That's
that
1,
is-
right? Yeah.
That is a 1%.
That's impressive. Shit.
Art shark.
So, since here's what I'll do. Sebastian and Cal, you think it's just the two of you. Like you think Everett doesn't have a chance, and it's coming down to just the two of you.
See, Miss O'Hara. It's all about getting the other two to just focus on each other. And then you come in when they're all focused elsewhere. Slip in for the kill. And just slap my royal flush down on the table. And pull the, grapes and crackers and cheese, whatever it is. Pop a couple in my mouth.
Good show.
Very well done. I don't
You
know
see-
if I like you or absolutely despise you in this moment.
There are a few waiters and waitresses, and they start clapping as they were looking at this and watching it all happen. Everybody's
Al
cheering
throws his
for-
cards down and God damn it.
And with that, we are going to sort of montage the next couple days or so. Had some more moments like these, probably played cards a couple more times here or there. And some of you are probably getting a little stir crazy. You've been stuck here for a while. Some of you handling it better than others. Beginning your 8th day on this voyage, it is morning. Sebastian, you are waking up and you hear scribbling. And you kind of look over, you see a figure sitting at the small writing desk in your room, writing feverishly over a piece of some sort of paper. You hear the scratching as they press. The head turns to look at you, and you shoot up. You sit up quickly as the face is twisted and distorted in a just grotesque way. Make a sanity roll for me.
48 and my sanity is 50.
Nice.
Oh.
All right, so you shoot up, and there's a moment where you're not sure if you should stand or scoot further away from this thing, and you blink, and the figure is gone.
I am going to quickly grab my revolver that is underneath my pillow and just sort of hold it at this spot where that person was.
Yeah, perfect. You kind of shove your pillow aside and grab onto it.
Hello? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. I'm going to get up, sort of pad over to the desk. Is there anything on the desk?
You see no paper, but you see carved into the wood of the decks, or the desk, you see it says, "It won't stop."
I am going to step out of my room in literally just my trousers and a plain tunic. And I am just going to look around me very frantically. Whose door is like the closest next to me?
Emily's.
I will walk over, I will pound very loudly, and I will go, I do not mean to awake you. I just simply need to know that I am not going crazy. Do you mind stepping out for a moment and coming into my room?
There's a moment of like quick movement, and she opens the door, pulling the second glove on, and she takes a look that you're like half dressed and goes, "Gosh, I'm sorry.
It is not like that. I promise you, it is not. I just need. Will you please? I will hold my hand out and like try to grab hers if she will let me.
She'll kind of recoil her hand, but and back up so that the door is open, and you can like pass by. But she leaves the door open while you're in the room, unless you try to close it.
No, I'm not trying to close it in any way. I will put away, I will like shove my like revolver back into like the side of my pants very quickly. Did you happen to hear, were you awake? Or did I just wake you?
No, she's like mostly dressed. Her scarf's maybe a little loose. Did I hear anything other than the movement of Sebastian like falling out of bed basically?
You would have probably heard Sebastian's movements for sure, or like yells. I don't know if there was a little shout of panic in there at all, but
I tend to keep it quiet, so no.
I mean, I heard you, I presume, get out of bed quite abruptly, and your shout just now, and you knocked, but
you didn't hear scribbling. You didn't hear creaking.
Not anything more.
I will sort of run my hand through my hair, and I will just like walk back over. I will just please come over, and I will point very pointedly to the desk where I'm assuming that's still there.
You walk over and you look at the desk, and there's no writing. I'm gonna have you make another sanity roll for me, Sebastian.
Would the other two of us heard any commotion? Or
you probably hear the frantic talking, yes.
I got another 48.
Nice. Was this at night?
This is the morning.
In the morning, okay.
I swear something was there a minute ago. It said it won't stop. That's all it said. There was a man, his face was twisted. I think it was a man. I don't even know if it was a man, but his face was twisted. And then the next minute he was gone, and he was scribbling on the desk, and the desk said it won't stop. And I don't know what that means. I swear to God, I am not crazy. That is what I saw. You think I'm crazy? That's, yeah, okay.
No, Mr. Hughes, I've done, at some of the digs I've tended in my career, there have been some interesting moments of things I couldn't quite explain. So perhaps ships like this, they're around for a very long time. You don't just ship them off once and they're done. So perhaps something lingers and you just, or perhaps it was a waking dream. I mean, many people experience those when they're sleeping fitfully. There's a million different ways it could be.
Doesn't reassure me that there's something on the ship if there is. And also, I don't dream normally. I don't remember any of my dreams. So why would I wake up from something if I don't remember them usually? The first option also terrifies me. So maybe we...
Are you not a priest?
Yes, I am. And these sort of things still freak me out. They're usually things that haven't passed and things that are angry and yes. And I will sort of like quickly like sort of look around my room, and then I will grab the Bible that is on my bedside table that looks very fresh, and I will open it and pretend to be like kind of like going through like all of the pages, but they're like brand new, so like they're just slowly like opening. And I'll just go, yes, and I will just start muttering to myself, pretending to read from this Bible.
This is the best moment I've ever experienced.
I assume it's obvious that the Bible is new. Like it's very much
it's
like you. This has never been opened in
clear.
its life.
That is very clear. Yeah. There's still a price tag on the back of it. If price tags even exist, it's like a little $10
little sticker.
Yeah.
At this
even
point,
$1.
At this point too, I'd say Cal and Everett are probably coming out. Like you've heard the commotion, you've had time to kind of get dressed and.
Sebastian, you making early wake-up calls again?
No. No, I don't make early wake-up calls at all, actually. I tend to be a late night owl. But no, I just I saw something and I just needed a confirmation that it was here. Apparently I'm wrong, and now I'm sure I look absolutely crazy. You know what? Everybody can just go back to what they were doing and pretend this didn't happen.
Run that back again. You saw something? It wasn't there.
I saw a man with a twisted face, and he was writing on my desk, and the next moment he was gone, and I got up and I looked at the desk and it just said, "It won't stop" on it.
Did you go sneak a few more gin and gingers when we weren't looking?
No, I did not at all. I might have one more extra, but that was it. And I'm pretty good at sleeping off the alcohol. So.
Did you recognize the person?
Did I recognize the person? No.
It's hard to make out actual features because of how just twisted everything was.
It's hard to recognize a person when his face is all fucked up, so.
Makes sense.
We can pretend this never happened. I will, yeah. I apologize, Miss O'Hara, for awakening you. But it seems you were already awake, so I don't know how much I really need to apologize, but I do apologize for making it seem...
I was sleeping.
I don't care. I didn't wake you up, so...
Emily will step over to the very obviously new Bible that you're miming through and just pick it out of your hand and turn to chapter 15, verse 13, and say, and just kind of point and say, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace. But of course, you knew that already, did you not?
I certainly did. Thank you very much. In my haste, I forgot which verse to look at.
Of course. You must have lost your old one, I see.
My what?
Looks at the Bible and looks at you. I mean, I've never known a priest with such a pristine copy.
What can I say? I like a new Bible for every adventure I go on.
She'll pat the book and just, good morning, gentlemen. I'll see you at breakfast. And
Roughly what time is it now?
I mean, it's early. It's probably like 7 a.m.
Early.
Well, I'm gonna try and catch up on another maybe hour. Save some breakfasts for the rest of us, Miss O'Hara.
she pauses at the door, perhaps, and just kind of straightens up and keeps going.
I love this group so much. Okay, so are we all kind of skipping to meeting back up top for breakfast, or is there anything specific anybody else wants to do?
I would have just went back to bed. Yeah, try to for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
from the previous scene, Cal, is there a window or like a porthole or something like that?
No.
There isn't. Oh, okay.
No, nothing. I can't see outside. Oh.
Nope.
Nope.
Roll insanity. No. No, in that case, Cal would just sort of look up and down the corridor. Is there a Is there a wardrobe or some sort of closet cupboard thing?
Like in Sebastian's room? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say, did Sebastian go upstairs?
I would have put myself together and then.
Yeah. I mean, he'll. Cal doesn't care. He'll look while you're there.
Okay.
You're getting dressed like.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I don't care. Yeah. It's nothing you haven't seen before. So I will just get dressed. And I will just sort of like kind of eye Cal out of the side, like side eye the entire time. But
all right. Both of
He's
you.
in police mode.
Both of you make a spot hidden roll for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, just. I got 55 for 56.
20 out of 15. So.
Okay. So Sebastian's getting dressed. Cal is looking. There's not really much of a wardrobe. There's a little. It's like the little side table has a couple drawers in it that you're able to put some stuff. I will say, Sebastian, have you unpacked anything, or is everything still kind of in your suitcase?
Well,
in the
there
corner?
isn't much, but everything's still in a suitcase. I just grab clothes as I go. I have like maybe 2 nice pairs of clothes, and like a couple different tunics, and that's about it. Besides my Bible that's on the desk and the revolver that's on me. There isn't much else.
Okay. Yeah, so you see him getting dressed, and both of you at the same time hear a scratching sound, and you look at each other, and out of the corner of your eye you see someone hunched over the desk writing.
I'm not looking over again.
Cal will pull out his gun.
Like a slow pulling it.
Yeah.
Still just eye contact.
Yeah.
Pulling out the gun. You just hear the
Excuse me, friend. Can we help you?
are you looking? Are you looking at them?
I'm
yes,
not.
I will.
All right, so yeah, you turn to look and kind of have your gun ready in that direction. You say that and you see them like stiffen. Turn to look over their shoulder and you see just a twisted, nasty face. And you see a bullet hole, an exit wound on the forehead with blood just running down the face. This being stands up, makes this screaming sound, and lunges for you.
I would like to fire my gun.
Fire as they're lunging? Sure, make a firearms roll.
Oh gosh. 41 to be from 65.
Okay. Yeah, so just this loud gunshot almost like deafens both of you inside of this small space. Wakes Everett up, and Emily is able to hear it from up top.
Throw some things on, some clothes on, and head out and just... What the fuck was that?
Yeah, as you're pushing through, is Emily coming down the stairs on the other side?
Yeah, there's probably some like tea spilt on her cuffs or something. She's like
Just jumping.
comes to the door and looks in.
Yeah, the two of you meet at the door, and as you're looking in, you see Cal holding his gun up, and you see a bullet lodged into the top corner of this room. and Cal and Sebastian both look a little shaken.
Cal, what in the hell are you doing?
Before resolving that, I will have Cal make a sanity roll, and Sebastian as well.
Just for a point of fact, Cal would have stepped slightly in front of Sebastian, blocking whatever, as he's firing sort of to... Ooh.
Got a 1.
1%?
Yeah.
What
Well
the
done.
what?
Nice.
Well done. That makes I got 81.
Ooh.
Okay, you're gonna lose 4 points of sanity for that.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
As you fire, the sound almost blinds you for a moment, and there's nobody there. And then Evie and Emily are meeting up at the doorway and looking in.
Are you too?
Cal's still pointing his gun in the corner, sort of.
I'm not crazy because Cal saw it this time too.
Emily will step very slowly into the room and then hesitatingly but gently just her hand kind of on Cal's wrist.
Yeah. He will quickly dart a look at you, say, sort of a startled look, but then sort of he'll let his arm go down.
Saw what?
I don't know.
What really to call it. It had a twisted face again. I think it was the same one. It was scribbling, and then it lunged at Cal.
It looked like it had some kind of exit wound.
I didn't recognize it from anything, did I? From my police work? No. Okay. Just double checking.
And did your shot cause that exit wound?
No,
Or
it
had
already
it to
had
begin with?
Had it to begin with.
It lunged, I fired. It disappeared.
What were you saying the other morning there, Cal, about not missing your shot?
I know I hit it.
Far be it from me to downplay your own experiences here on the ship, but I will point out that the two of you are the two who have been uneasy on the water. Perhaps you could get dressed and we can have some breakfast and perhaps have a calm and conversation about all this upstairs without the guns.
This gun isn't leaving my side now, so...
Cal will reholster his gun.
Duly noted, but after what just happened, I'm with my friend here.
As long as it's pointing at walls, not at us.
Good, we're all friends now, though.
Yes, perhaps some fresh hair will do you good.
All right, so we all heading upstairs?
Yeah.
Probably none of us having, well, except for Emily, none of us having gotten as much sleep as we really wanted to. Everyone heads upstairs. There is breakfast waiting for you, but it doesn't seem to be as plentiful this time.
Have we seen Dr. Glass at all the last 6 days?
I
Just
mean,
beat to it.
yeah, you've seen he pops in occasionally. He comes in for breakfast and kind of takes a plate to go, says hello. Just preparing for
How does he look every time we've seen him? Does he look as bad as he did when we saw him, when we came and saw him in his room?
Yeah, he looks exhausted. And you would know he's not really letting anyone into his room. Some of the crew tries to, bring him food instead of him coming up, and they're just directed to leave it at the door. So you've seen him occasionally, but he never stops to chat. As of today, you head up and there is far less options for breakfast available today. And like Emily would have had some earlier. It's very bland. It's not. This is not the fancy meal you've been having. It's just very plain. There's not much taste to it. Your coffee tastes a little burnt. Bread's a little stale. But you are up. You are having breakfast.
Is this generally how these things work there, Miss O'Hara? Is this travel goes on, or?
Well, there's only so long you can keep fruit and vegetables fresh in an extended voyage, so they use the good stuff first. Unfortunately.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a bit worried that Mr. Glass might not come good on this opportunity.
Worried you're not going to get paid.
Exactly. As much as I've enjoyed all of your company, I didn't sign up here to meet new friends.
I doubt any of us did.
Exactly.
Well, the job isn't until we get to Africa, isn't it? So this is just the unfortunate prelude.
But if Dr. Glass doesn't make it...
Well, I'm sure his estate will take care of it. And if not, I mean, I'm sure there are many opportunities to one such as yourself, Mr. Lewis, back on to make some money before you head back home.
Miss O'Hara, you seem mighty calm about all that seems to be going on at the minute.
I was saying to Mr. Hughes earlier, I actually, I've seen some strange things on dig sites in my youth. Granted, I've not seen what you've seen, but no sense in panicking. We keep calm and carry on, do we not?
You
What
ever
about
lose
if
your
you
cool in any situation? Ever?
Emily takes a very slow sip of her tea, and you see her kind of fumble with her gloves a little. Of course, we're not all perfect, certainly not myself, but I try my very hardest. Try being surrounded by dozens of 18 to 22-year-olds in college. One must remain calm.
Sounds like a good time to me.
To each their own. Mr. Lewis? But about this thing that you saw, it was just scribbling, what was it? It won't stop?
That is what I saw. But it looked like as if it was writing on paper at first, and then when I went over there, it was etched into the desk. So
Shared visions are quite strange, but not impossible phenomena. You see them often in stories of cults and revelations. Perhaps there's a running theme.
I don't know anything about cults and what have you, but whatever was in that room wasn't friendly.
Until you pulled a gun on it, was it aggressive towards you?
All I did was...
I think it was less aggressive at the side of the gun and more aggressive at the fact that you were talking to it.
It seemed that way.
Well, there are certainly stories of spirits that replay over and over the same experience, and then you snap them out of it and shocks them into reality or uncertainty, perhaps. Maybe best if next time you see it, be quiet and step away. See what happens.
Seems it's trying to send a message, though, if it's enjoying itself some graffiti. What is it that won't stop?
I mean, does that mean anything to the two of you?
I mean, this damn journey has felt like it won't stop.
Have I encountered in any of my education research into occults or old societies of specters, of hauntings, of trapped souls and the like?
Go ahead and make an occult roll for me.
Okay.
Or for you, I would also allow it would have fairly different answers, but a like a library use roll for that as well.
Go for a cult just for fun. 10 and 4.
14.
That's 14.
So
That's that's 14.
oh, is that 14?
Mhm.
Amazing.
Yes. So
14.
You've definitely heard of, not necessarily cults per se. It's more of you've heard of exorcisms. You've heard of exorcising a place to cleanse it of spirits. Something some priests may know how to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Mr. Hughes, of course you would know about exorcisms, being one of the cloth, of course. But certain faiths believe you can remove such a violent spirit. I'm not sure if that's something you have much experience with in practice.
I've never
I have
done
read
one myself, but I have read many tales about it. So
Mm-hmm.
the problem is you would need to find something in connection with that, I believe, in order to perform an exorcism. So
Certainly explore the ship a little. See if we can find anything that seems off or old or something like that. You said there was
seems off.
You said there was a bullet wound in it.
There was.
Right. So, other than the bullet hole that is currently in your room, perhaps there's another that would be related to this particular individual.
Or the gun.
Or the gun.
Is there any kind of study of some sort on this ship?
No study. There is a very small, like, bookshelf in the lounge, but other than that, that's really all.
Perhaps one of the crew members would have some knowledge of the vessel. Perhaps there's a history.
Perhaps. Would you like to ask your friend?
I could.
Well, I am going to ease my own anxiety and walk around the ship and see if I can find anything. So if anyone would like to join me, you are more than welcome. I would prefer someone to come with for my own sanity.
Those two are going to go together, then I'll go with you. I think it's a good idea we stay at least in pairs.
Very well.
I'm not so sure that the two of you seen strange ghosts or whatever, and shooting at walls is a good idea to go alone. As much as I'd like to go see my friend, I don't think a cook's hand is going to have much knowledge of the ship.
Could ask the captain. Might be a good idea.
Probably a more resourceful source.
Don't underestimate the individuals that provide service. They hear the whispers in the walls. But Captain certainly would have a overall insight.
Most of Daniel's whispers be coming from me.
Right. I'm going to go take a walk. One of you can come with if you'd like, or all of you can come with if you'd like.
Emily will stand and wait for you.
Miss O'Hara, you've seemed to make a trip or two around the ship. Perhaps lead the way.
Certainly. Well, start heading, I guess, clockwise, like to the front and then around, and then we can kind of like spiral inside.
I will follow very closely behind, and I will also take out my gun.
Okay.
Just holding it.
So
Not
we
doing
are... Gotcha. We are making a lap. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Emily would start leading the group around the deck. I don't know what kind or how big of this ship is, but basically around the deck, and then once we've done the lap around the deck, either the next story down, the inside quarters, and then like spiraling, basically.
Okay.
Like when you're in a maze and you put your hand on the left and you just keep going until you can't turn right anymore.
Sure. So the ship isn't massive by any means. You have this front deck that has kind of just been like an exterior lounge sort of thing, or like where you have your breakfast and everything like that. There are steps upward towards the captain's quarters, and there are the two staircases that lead down into both the crew's quarters, lounge, and then the sleeping quarters on the other side. So it's not a very large ship. There's a lot of space where there doesn't need to be. It's definitely a very... Money was just dumped. They were like, this is what I need. So there's a lot of wasted space, I guess I could say. The hallways are much bigger than they need to be. This deck is much bigger than it needs to be. The ship does not need to be this big for how many sleeping quarters that there actually are. So you go around once. I will note Cal is probably keeping a little ways from the side of the ship.
Yeah. And he's also towards the back of the group.
Okay.
So he can keep an eye on everybody, if you like.
Yeah. So you make a lap and you kind of have three different choices. You can head down the stairs that lead to the crew's quarters and the lounge. You can head down back to the sleeping quarters, or you can head up into the captain's quarters.
I
How
would
are the
suggest captain's quarters or the crew quarters. I feel like that might be our best bet.
Yeah.
Talk to the
down.
captain.
Okay. Captain.
All right, so you head up. You see it's like maybe a 6-step staircase up into this almost like it just looks like a very, very blank, half-walled room up here. You've got glass covering every other side. Glass is actually what is the ceiling in this room as well. And the walls probably go up about 4 feet or so you can still see over them. Walking in here, you see just the navigation panel. You see a huge radio. And there is a spiral staircase in the center of this room that seems to lead down to the actual sleeping quarters of this captain. This room is currently empty.
There's nothing in it, like, at all?
No. Well, I mean, the room that you're in right now, like the navigation room.
Bridge.
Oh.
There's nobody in here.
Okay.
Can Cal check that the radio's functional? I mean, he's not going to go and fiddle with dial. Just check that it picks up a signal and it's operational.
Yeah, you walk over to the radio. What are you doing to check that it's operational?
It'll depending on what kind of status it's in, it'll turn it on. Maybe just see if the lights come on. Whether it's getting signal or receiving, or I'm assuming it has like the little sort of voltage dials and then that kind of thing, just to see whether it all lights up and comes to life, and listen. Whether the headphones are picking up static. Whether it's working. I mean, it's not going to radio out anyone, but just see.
Yeah. You walk over and you start kind of tinkering with this radio. You grab the headphones and kind of put them to your ear to make sure that they are, functioning. And you hear a little bit of static. Go ahead and make a listen roll for me.
Ooh, 96.
96.
That's helpful.
Okay, before I tell you what you hear, make a sanity roll for me.
Oh, even better, 89.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Your
Thanks
new
a lot,
dice.
Okay, so you're gonna lose 3 points of sanity.
Hmm.
As you hear the static and you're about to remove the headphones from your ears. You're like in the process of removing them, and you're about to announce that, this is a functioning radio. And as you're pulling the headphones away, you hear an eerily familiar voice. You hear yourself saying, "It won't stop."
On hearing that, he will throw the headphones down and just step back.
Everything okay?
Sure.
Does it look like anything's changed about him? Like, I don't know what I'm looking for.
I would say no. There probably wasn't much to see before, and there's not much to see now.
Okay.
So, a very set expression.
Is it working? We aren't stranded from all the...
Yeah, it seems to be.
Would Emily find it weird that the captain's deck is completely empty during the voyage?
You find it a little odd, but you do see the staircase leading down to where you assume is probably his quarters, and at least he's probably not too far from the deck, but...
Is there a map of any kind in here?
As you're looking around, you do see a map of different, routes. It's just marking a whole bunch of different routes, across the sea.
Nothing's clear about which route we are taking.
Make a navigate roll.
If I don't have anything in that, is there a... Oh, there's a 10%.
Yeah.
4?
No way.
Yeah, no, I'm so serious right now. I rolled 00 and then a 4, so...
Nice. Oh my goodness. All right, so you walk over and you're looking at them. You kind of glance over to the little panel where you can see, your coordinates currently. And if you take a couple minutes, this is probably... Well, no, that scene already passed, but it'll take a couple minutes, but you can determine what route you're on based on the coordinates that you're currently at right now. But you notice as you're looking at this, you're 8 days into your journey, but your coordinates, they put you probably 5 days behind.
Behind. So like we've only made 3 days travel.
Correct.
Where are we in? Just like the middle of the ocean right now?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any sort of like markings of any kind around where I have figured out where we kind of are? Of like do not enter or anything like that. I don't know. Bermuda Triangle. I don't know.
There be dragons.
Yeah.
I'd say probably not.
So I'm a bit confused. I'm not great with maps, but I can decipher them pretty decently, surprisingly. And it looks like we are at least 5 days behind where we should be, which is a bit confusing, and alarming. It's like we haven't even really gone that far into where we should be at this point.
Strange. So the staircase, it's just like wrought iron all the way down. There's no like door or anything hiding it.
Nope, yep, just a staircase.
So peek down the stairs. Is there light down there?
There is a little bit, like a flickering light, like it's maybe a candle or something.
Captain, knock on the wrought iron.
As you're peeking down and you yell that, you see, so it's very obscured. You can't quite see just because of the way that the staircase goes down, but there are little parts where you're able to see down into the room, and you see a face look and then hide.
Huh. Right. Well, he's down there, I think. He might be getting changed or anything. Might one of you check? It would be improper for me to,
I am going to pull out I already have my gun out, but I'm going to point it straight down, and I will just go, Captain, if you don't mind showing your face, just for a second. Is everything okay down there?
I'm not too certain that he's going to be very welcomed with a brandished weapon there, Sebastian.
I really don't give a shit. So.
Sebastian, make a listen roll for me.
No. No. I rolled a 46, and I have a 10 in that, so.
Okay. So you're trying to. You're focused on the gun. You hear your heart beating in your ears. You don't hear anything. Nobody's popping into frame. Into view.
Cal at this point will be getting a little bit impatient and will sort of get to the stairs and go, Captain, if you're down there, you need to come up here now.
No answer.
And if he doesn't hear any reply, he's going to head down there.
All right, so Cal just starts. You hear the clanking of the metal as his shoes hit, as he is heading down into the captain's quarters.
I'll follow behind Cal.
Okay.
Miss O'Hara, keep an eye on Mr. Hughes here.
I will walk down halfway down the stairs, and sort of just keep my distance, but I will walk halfway down the stairs, so I'm not all the way up down there.
Okay. So Cal, you are the first one to walk down into the sleeping quarters. It's fairly small, actually. It's smaller than you were expecting. You see a bed. You see a full-size like wardrobe and everything in here. You see a couple suitcases and a desk It's a pretty simple room. There's nobody
Hello?
down here.
Hello?
Captain,
Um,
is there any signs of an area? It's just one room. There's no other adjoining rooms that it looks like.
As far as you
And doesn't look like anywhere that someone could easily hide.
correct. I mean, there is the wardrobe, but
Yeah.
That's where Cal's kind of gonna head
Did-
towards.
Emily looked down, right? And I think you mentioned that you saw the captain. Okay.
and Cal
Yeah.
walks over to the wardrobe. You open it up.
But before I will turn to Evie and say,
why is this guy hiding?
and then open the.
And you open up the wardrobe, and upon looking in, I will say Cal's body is obscuring Evie's view.
I'm yelling back up to Emily anyway. You sure you saw him down here? No one's down here.
And as Cal opens up this wardrobe, you see a stack of like suits, a stack of just regular t-shirts. You see some clothes kind of weirdly twisted and folded, and you realize that the clothes that are twisted and folded are on a body, and the body is twisted and folded, and you see the face twisted and turned towards you. One of the arms flops out just a little bit. I'm gonna have you make a sanity roll for me.
We're gonna lose Cal right off the bat, aren't we? Jesus Christ!
Oh,
he will
God.
step back with a start.
Fuck!
I got. I think I got 9.
009?
Yeah.
What is with you people? Okay.
Hell yeah. We
not
love
my
those
first
little
dead body.
roll rolls.
All right, yeah, so what is your reaction to this? How do you explain that you did not lose any sanity from seeing this?
He will step back, startled at seeing the body, and then he'll instantly go into cop mode. It's a crime scene now. He sort of disassociates himself with horrificness to a certain extent.
As soon as I hear Cal react, I just snap my attention from yelling upstairs, turning there, and probably gonna get a glance at this myself at this point. Say, what is it?
You actually see some clothes fall out of the wardrobe. You don't see a body.
Not quite proper to go through another individual's things, Mr. Mcclintock.
Can I not see? Has it disappeared? What I thought I saw.
You look back to Evie talking to you, and
Yeah.
you look back at the wardrobe. There's nothing. It's just clothes.
Certainly no room for someone to hide in there. I'll check like under the bed if there's room under the bed, or if it's
Okay. Go ahead and make a spot hidden roll.
Oh, 65, target of 60. I will luck and succeed on that.
Okay. Yeah, so you lean down onto the floor. There's a decent amount of space under this bed. You can see it looks like some sort of lockbox of some sort is stuffed under this bed. And there's also something that kind of catches your eye, shoved more towards the wall. You can't quite tell what it is from here, but you're welcome to reach for it if you'd like.
Yeah, I think curiosity is going to get to me at this point. And just as I'm investigating, just kind of call out from underneath the bed. There's a lockbox down here. There's something up against the wall. Can't really and reach out towards it.
Do you pull the lockbox out?
Yeah, I think I will. When I mention that,
Yeah, just
I'll
kinda-
slide that out away to the side. And I'll try to give it a little push so it slides out to
Sure.
Cal's attention.
Sure. And then you reach in for whatever this item is. You reach in, you grab onto it, and it's something metallic. And as you're beginning to pull it away, you feel fingers just grab onto your arm. They're not doing anything. You just feel cold, almost wet fingers grab onto your wrist.
Oh god, oh, what the and I'll just let go and then like recoil.
As you're pulling your arm away, the force actually pulls whoever or whatever is holding onto you with you a little bit. I will say, Cal, you are able to see as Evie pulls out from under this bed, you see an arm holding onto him, being pulled out too. A face comes up out from under this bed, twisted and just distorted. And this person, this being, looks up towards Evie and says, tick, tock, tick, tock. And then I'm gonna have both of you make a sanity roll.
Okay.
Oh yes. 48 of 50. Just under the wire.
I got 43 of 58, so.
You guys are gonna go through this perfectly sane. This is the perfect equivalent of this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, as this
Cal-
happens,
Cal, do you?
Yeah, Cal
do
would
you
be
see this?
grabbing the scruff of Evie's thing just to pull him away. As
as
quickly
you
as he can.
pull too, the being lets go, and you see them slowly just like pushing back underneath the bed.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna start like running down.
Hearing
Probably
that,
after
yeah.
hearing that, yeah.
Is that what you saw in your room?
Was it, or is it is it the same as what we saw?
Sebastian
different?
didn't see
No,
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
was it
address
the same
Cal.
as what I saw when that I shot?
This one didn't have a bullet hole.
No, but it's similar
Just
expression.
very
Yeah, yeah.
twisted and yeah.
So there's
It
more
was
than
the
one.
same but different.
Lovely.
Yeah.
What same but different? What did you guys just see? What just happened?
Something just grabbed me underneath the bed, and when I pulled away, it held on and it pulled out and just stared out at us and kept saying, tick tock, tick tock.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one seeing things now. That's great. That's also really fucking creepy.
No,
You don't
one,
see the-
two. Go on, Karen.
You haven't seen the captain anywhere?
No, I thought I saw something in the wardrobe, but it didn't appear to be.
I'm gonna guess that he's not inside this box and gesture over to the lockbox. Might be something in here to check out if we can get it open.
Maybe we take it out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Emily,
Oh.
kind of standing more towards the top of the stairs, hears this, sees Sebastian kind of sprinting down to see what's going on. But before you can do anything, you hear loudly from, you think your pocket watch starts ticking.
Sure.
Tick tock. Tick.
I'll pull it out. Is it speeding? Is it stopped? Is it just normal?
You look at it, it's actually not working.
Oh,
And you kind of
yeah.
put it to your ear. It's not what's ticking, but something is ticking.
yeah,
it's
I
getting
shake
louder.
it. Start to kind of glance down. I don't hear any like too much chaos, so I just I'll look around the room. to spot anything strange, just keeping the watch in my hand.
Okay. Yeah, looking around, you're not really sure what you would even look for in this room necessarily, but the ticking, as you've kind of done a once over from this room, it's coming from the doorway.
The closed doorway, I presume.
I
Or
don't know actually if you guys
I don't know if we
left
closed
that
it.
open or closed it, but either way,
Yeah.
it's coming from out of this room somewhere.
Okay. I'm just gonna shout down the stairs. I'm just going to check on something. Back in a jiff. And I'll just like go to the door and kind of poke my head out towards the sound.
And you hear the ticking. It almost sounds like it's moving. As you open the door, it sounds like it's right in front of you, and then it moves down the stairs and towards like the stairway towards the sleeping quarters.
Not knowing what's happening downstairs, I suspect Emily guesses that is like the captain who maybe like came up and then forgot something and went down. So she's gonna follow and go, excuse me, and just keep going. Split the party.
As soon as you are down these stairs and you step into this hallway, the ticking seems to like echo all the way down. It's just this loud tick, tock, tick, tock, and then it seems to just stop on Sebastian's door.
I don't think Emily would initially go into someone else's room alone. So she's gonna stop at the hallway and call back behind her, assuming the group is coming out at some point, and just wait to see if anybody appears.
And meanwhile, you have this case, or this lockbox, and you hear Emily yell down that,
Just going to check on something. Back in a jiff.
Where's she running off to right now?
Idea. Maybe she told the captain.
Well, let's just get out of this, whatever the hell it is, and see what's in here.
Give him the creep.
Just head up to the to like the main bridge there, and assuming there's like an open counter table or something, and throw the box on there, and just look at the other two. So any thoughts on getting this thing open?
I could try my hand at it.
Gesture out to be my guest.
I have a locksmith skill. Would that work in this instance?
yep.
Okay. Not great.
Cal
but-
will from
I actually
beneath
do
his
too.
coat, he will hand you a lockpick. You might
Do you
need
all have lockpicks with you?
I carry my own. Thank you, though.
this. Fair enough.
I rolled a 13, so I did not get
Nice.
it. Yeah. It was
Oh,
low, but not low enough.
Oh, gotcha. Do you want
Yeah.
to spend any luck?
Actually, yeah. What does it cost, though? I forget.
One
1
point
point
for
1 point?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
1 point for each point that you're spending to succeed the roll. So,
So 3 points.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, so it takes you a second, it kind of gets stuck there for a moment, and then there's finally the give, and you're able to unlock it, and the lockbox is no longer locked.
Oh, are we in this room at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, the little navigation area.
Cal will keep an eye at the bottom of the stairs, just looking
Okay.
down the stairs, just making sure there's not nothing untoward is creeping up.
Slowly open that up.
Alright,
Take a look inside.
Yeah, you push open this lockbox, and you see a handful of jewels, diamonds. You see a gun. Looks to be a 38. And you also see what looks to be like a collection of cards of some sort, or little, they almost look like a little bit smaller than postcards, and they seem to be rubber banded together.
Anything good in the box? I'm guessing I can't see what's in the box from where I am.
I'll just kind of rummage through and pull the postcards out, the note cards out, but also make note. Well, there is a gun in here, and I believe I think Miss O'Hara had mentioned that maybe there's a connection between an object like this and your previous vision. Perhaps the source of that thing's mark points to his forehead. Hey, where is she, by the way?
Yeah, I think we should go look for her.
That might be a good idea.
I will take a quick moment to rifle through the postcards.
Looking at these postcards, they appear to be invitations of some sort. They kind of have a bit of a gold trim around them, and they say, Dr. Arthur Glass humbly invites you to the Glass Mansion.
Also, Cal, seeing the gun, will pick it up and see if it's loaded.
The gun is fully loaded, yes.
He will offer it to Evie.
Just kind of put my hands up, says, "That's no good in my hands."
Fair enough. Takes a brave man to say that he's no good with a gun.
And I'll put it in my own pocket.
While they are doing that, I make a sleight of hand check to steal some jewels from the box.
Go for it.
Cool.
So, I mean, you don't need to make a sleight of hand. I'm gonna probably take a handful as well.
Yeah, I am a 15, and my sleight of hand is 40. So
Yeah, so Sebastian takes some, and you.
Do I need to make it? Do I? Yeah, I don't know.
None the wiser. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Disappearance. I wonder whose disappearance.
Maybe we.
are there names on each of the invitations? Do you see anything? No.
Mr. Hughes here, you mentioned that we've basically been going nowhere on this journey for the past 5 days, was it?
5 days, it seems like. And we've been on board for 8. Seems a bit strange.
At this point, you would hear Emily shout
Gentlemen, are you
from outside the room.
are you there?
Okay.
I think I found something.
Oh, what now?
Just before we go, I just want, as we've all experienced something strange, I heard what appears to be my own voice on that radio saying it won't stop.
You're just now telling us that.
Well, it didn't seem pertinent at the time. We have bigger mysteries.
I think you've mentioned that's what was carved in the desk, right?
Yes, I have mentioned it.
Yeah, okay.
There's
That's
something strange going on in the ship.
the same message in the desk, right?
It is. Why would you be hearing your own voice back? It's confusing to me.
You're not the only one.
I say we gather Miss O'Hara and we go to Mr. Glass as soon as possible. I'll break down the damn man's door if I have to.
Yep.
I don't like this.
Assuming that the lockbox is not, the lock isn't broken, close that back up, and then I'm gonna bring that along. Just kind of put the invitations back in. I know, Cal, you said you had the gun, which is fine, and there's a few jewels that have been taken, but close it up, and go along and well, let's go find our other counterparts.
Yeah, and Emily, you see them kind of round the corner. A little pale, but otherwise okay.
Still ticking, I assume.
Yes, yeah, for you.
Yeah.
No one else hears any ticking.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was going to ask, the group.
The reason you're standing outside my door, I'm very
Yeah, where did you go?
Yeah. I mean, if you
hear
want in,
something in there.
it's wide open. Go for it.
I'd rather wait for present company, and present company has come. So, I heard ticking, and my watch just stopped.
You heard what?
Ticking.
Ticking.
You know, like a watch. Mine's broken. I tried winding it. Did I? Okay, if I try winding it, it still doesn't go.
Yeah, still doesn't work.
I tried winding it. Father kept it in pristine condition, and I've done the same. But it's still. Anyway, I can still hear it. It's in your room, as if it moved. I just didn't want to presume to go in by myself.
We're not here. I'm not personally hearing anything.
But I didn't see anything scribbled in your desk earlier. So.
Open the door. Go right for it. That's all yours.
She'll look at Cal.
Cal will sort of will pause, and then he will step and open the door. He'll put his hand up and say,
Forgot to mind my manners.
Okay, so is Cal opening the door for Emily to look in, or is Cal opening the door and looking in?
I think he would open the door for her.
There's a half a beat where, yeah.
Yeah.
You open the door, Emily looks at you for a second, then nods and steps inside.
All right, so all of you watch as Emily takes a step towards this doorway, kind of glances to Cal with probably a little nervous nod, looks back into this room, and you see Sebastian, Evie, and Cal all see dozens and dozens of hands reach out, grab onto Emily, and yank her into the room. The door slams shut. You're unable to hold it open anymore, Cal.
Okay.
Emily, you are pulled into this room. It is pitch black when the door shuts. You feel, once you're pulled in, they let you go. You feel the hands let you go, but you feel you're surrounded by decaying, cold bodies. You can smell them. They're all standing. Once your eyes slightly adjust, it's still very dark in here, but you see their heads are hanging low and their bodies are completely covered in dirty, old, tattered white sheets.
Ticking still? No ticking?
No ticking. The ticking has stopped.
Okay. I'm gonna reach behind me to try to find the doorknob.
Okay.
Or the latch or whatever.
Go ahead and first make a sanity roll for me.
Yeah, no, that tracks. Oh yeah, that's a 27 out of 70, so I'm good.
Good grief, you guys.
The unflappable Emily O'Hara at your service.
That's pretty high sanity, too. Jeez.
So you squeeze your eyes shut. You don't want to look at them. You feel yourself, as you're looking at them, your world is collapsing. And there's this moment where you just close your eyes and you're feeling behind you for the door handle. Make a luck roll.
Okay. That's probably a fail. It's a 78. My luck 65.
All right, so you're feeling around. You can't find the door handle. It doesn't make sense. It should be right. I mean, it should be right here. and you just feel a flat door. And then as you're feeling a little bit further, this isn't even a door. This is a wall. There is no door.
Cool.
And you feel the bodies getting closer to you. You feel shoulders bumping your shoulder. You hear breath in your ear. And still with your eyes closed, you hear one body breathing right by your ear. Just a breath at first, kind of shaky, almost scared.
Emily will turn her head in the direction of the breathing before opening her eyes, and then open her eyes.
Okay, you open your eyes and it's still a sheet. Is that a cat?
Yeah, Fred's very upset that the door is shut. I'm sorry.
He's worried for you.
Yeah, so you turn your head in the direction of this breathing. You open your eyes, you see there's still a sheet over this being, and you see the breath. As they breathe in, the sheet pulls. As they breathe out, the sheet loosens in, out. And then you hear it start to mumble something. Whatever is underneath this sheet, you're not certain. But you hear the mumble, and it's... you're unable to understand what it is at first. And then they just gradually start getting louder. And you hear,
I deserve this. This is all my fault. I deserve this. This is all my fault. I deserve this. This is all my fault.
Meanwhile, what are the other three doing as the door slams shut outside?
We see the hands pull her in.
You absolutely did, and I'm going to have you make a sanity roll for that as well.
Okay. Depending on how this roll goes, Cal will immediately... Ooh, 27.
57 out of 50.
17.
Wow.
Okay, so Sebastian's the only one that failed this? 57 out of 50?
You said
Okay.
sanity, right? Yeah.
Yes. So, you are going to lose 5 points of sanity.
Oh, Jesus.
And until I tell you otherwise, the only way this makes any sense, this is just one giant joke. This is just a joke. These people cannot be trusted. They're trying to trick you. They're trying to get something out of you from this fucking insane... There's no way this is real. You will be suffering from paranoia.
Those people being the rest of us.
Perception.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever's happening, they're definitely in on it.
Okay. Cool. Cal will immediately start hammering on the door, kicking at it, trying to bash it down.
Assuming that Cal probably already had hands on the door handle. Doing either that if he lets go, same, pounding on the door and just calling out to Emily.
Okay, I will have Evie and Cal both make a strength roll for me.
Sorry,
Got
Carrie.
night.
As a DM, I know how frustrating this is.
Doors, man. Doors.
38 of 40, so
Ooh,
just
okay,
succeed.
cool.
I got 96.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you watch Cal kind of struggle with it for a moment. Cal lets go to back up and go to, like, kick this door, but Evie's already in with a shoulder, slams into the door. You see the actual, like, doorknob and latch kind of break and loosen for a moment, and you're then able to, like, yank open this door. Emily comes falling out. You kind of have to catch her as she's falling out. She looks panicked, pale in the face. There's, for all of you now, nothing in the room.
Miss O'Hare, are you...
Did I recognize the voice?
No, you did not.
Okay. Yeah, pale as a sheet. There were. She kind of cringes away from where you've caught her and just kind of, even assuming kind of she fell onto the ground and you're like tried to catch her. She like backs
No,
up,
total
just, like, not
catch,
touching
and then
her.
there's a total like should be very awkward romantic element of like face close of like,
Yeah.
are you okay? But obviously,
Yeah, she like drops and like backs up, and kind of rubs where you were touching her. And she's like kind of twitching, holding tight onto the watch that she had in her hand before as well. Bodies set, decaying, and something was saying it's my fault, not my fault, their fault, that they deserved this, but I couldn't see them. They were under sheet. It was still alive, you understand, or perhaps
they say what was their fault?
they just kept repeating it. She just kind of pushes up against a wall, the opposite wall from the door, that is now standing open, and she like it doesn't look. She like glances up at it to see it's empty. She still kind of like looks away.
Cal is bracing the door. He's leaning against the door, foot against it, so it's nothing.
I suggest we get out of this room for a start.
Maybe
Too
we go
many weird things.
go find Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea.
Sebastian, you awfully quiet.
I was going to say, while Emily has fallen out, sort of in just a state of shock, and also feeling like I can't be around these people right now, I would have like tried to sneak away to go find Mr. Glass.
I will say with the chaos, that was easy enough to have happened.
Okay.
Yeah, you look over and you say, Sebastian, you've been... And Sebastian's...
Where the hell did he go?
I don't know. He was just here.
So the three of you still kind of go to head towards Dr. Glass, probably. But first, Sebastian made his way around around to the other hallway, all the way down the hall, all the while just feeling like, I mean, they're definitely... Have they noticed that you left? Are they chasing you? Do they know? They have to know. They definitely know. And as you are continuing further, you make it to right outside of Dr. Glass's door.
I'm just pounding on that door, and I'm just like trying to like, I'm gonna grab at the like handle and try to push and open it. And just be like, Mr. Glass, I swear to God, if you don't come out of here right this instant, I will fucking shoot this lock off.
Go ahead and make a strength roll for me.
Okay. No.
Yeah, you are slamming into this door. The thing is the door itself opens, you can feel it, but there's something blocking the door from the other side, a piece of furniture or something, and you're slamming into it. It's just a little bit too heavy.
Mr. Glass?
You push into this door even harder, and as you're shoving, you're pushing, you're slamming, you feel something in your shoulder pop as you are pushing into this with this just almost, I don't even know how to, almost violent, like trying to burst through this door. You are going to lose 1 hit point. As this pops, you are currently, until you can get somebody to pop this arm back into place, you're not able to use your right arm.
Okay.
And it's probably around this time that the other three are rounding the corner. You look down and you see Sebastian just slam into this door and then kind of reach over for his arm.
Hughes, what the hell are you doing?
Hughes, we know who you are.
Is he in there?
You're not going to be able to get away.
I'm gonna pull my gun out with my left hand, which I'm not good with, but I will do it anyways, and I will just like just point it at them.
All right.
You come any fucking closer, I am going to shoot.
Immediately like stop, and if I wasn't already, I'm gonna definitely like get behind Cal.
Yeah, he will be trying to stand in front of the other two.
It's continuing to yell Sebastian down.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? We're all in this together. Just calm down.
No,
We've all
we are
seen
not.
some strange shit.
No.
Come on.
No.
Keep it together.
You don't know who I am. You don't
That's
get to know
right,
who
I
I am.
don't.
No.
No. I don't give a fuck who you are at this moment. We just need to get in that room and see what's going on.
If Cal succeeds this persuasion roll, your paranoia fades.
Oh. Persuade. Oh.
Uh-oh.
I believe in you.
Remember those really good rolls you were doing earlier?
Yeah, and I need one now. I have got a score, but it's just not terribly high. Oh, I got 38. Can I use some luck points, please?
Yes, you can.
I will use 4 to make it
Nice.
34.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So the words start sinking in, and you're kind of coming to your senses the best that you can, anyway.
I will drop my gun very slowly towards the
Okay.
side.
It's okay. We're all a little bit on edge. It's okay, man. Okay.
Are you okay?
I think I might have hit the door a little too hard with my shoulder. Something's barring the door.
Okay. Cal, not disbelieving Sebastian, but in the way, we'll go and try the door.
You could easily see how it's pushed open right now. The door is
Yeah.
open and something is blocking it, but you
Okay.
can make a strength roll if you'd like to try to push through it.
Yeah, I'll 94.
This is when the bad rolls start.
It's like strength is one of my highest scores.
Yeah, you walk over and you're like, there's no way this is going to be too heavy.
Yeah. Whoa,
You're just
crack my
like,
knuckles.
"Oh, it's too heavy.
Well,
It
I'm
must be
gonna look
something.
at Sebastian's arm and then turn back to Emily and say, "Well, I'm not gonna be any good in this department. I know you spend a lot of time digging bones up. You any good at putting them back?"
I'm not bad at it. To be honest. Can I roll a first aid to try to pop her back in?
I'll grab
Alright.
Sebastian's other hand and just kind of look at him
Provide
and
some
say,
leverage.
"Just squeeze tight if it hurts."
Oof. I count
his arm
down
off.
3, 2, and then I push. Don't get it. I have a 40. I got 76. It just hurts.
You want to push the
Um,
roll?
Don't break my arm any further, please. But if you want to.
Yeah. Emily's gonna look at Lewis and Hughes and then look down at like her hands on his shoulders and just kind of very, very like focused remove the gloves and hand them to Lewis. And then brace yourself, would you please?
Since you are removing, so before you roll that, since you're removing those
Yeah.
gloves,
Yep.
go ahead and
That would not have been a good idea.
first make a luck roll for me.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that was real bad. That was no.
Okay, all right. Then,
Hard no.
so mechanically, because you were kind of like overcoming this for a moment, I was going to give
Yeah.
you a bonus to the first aid, but the luck was
Yeah,
not
not
on your side. So just a regular first aid
Yep.
roll there.
All right, I'm gonna use different dice. I'm gonna pick some different dice. Just
Nice
just
and fresh.
Yeah. Get some good feelings in here. Oh yeah, that's a 16 out of 40.
Hell yeah!
My friends.
Ooh, so you didn't break his arm.
Yeah, count down again. 3, 2, pop. And
Yeah,
it
there's a
says-
loud crunch that everyone can hear. It hurts for a moment, and it's definitely achy. Like there's a soreness to it, but you're able to use your arm.
She will nervously kind of go to brush her hands off on her jacket, and then get the gloves back and hastily put them back on. There you go.
You?
Pops right in.
Sort of.
Well,
Thank you.
Cal will pull out a hip flask and hand it to Sebastian and go,
Yes, please.
you back with us,
I will
friend?
chug whatever is in there.
Okay, so Sebastian, make a sanity roll for me.
Okay,
Has
great.
nothing to do with my drink.
Sure. I failed that one again.
Perfect.
oh dear.
So you're gonna lose 2 more points of sanity as you begin to chug blood.
I'm just gonna up chucking everywhere. Oh, and I'm gonna immediately just like throw the flask back at Cal.
Get a hold of yourself, man. What?
Hey. What's up,
Emily
bub?
jumps back about 5 feet out of the splash zone. She's
Yeah.
That's not okay.
There's no need to be rude, and I will take a swing of it
Fucking
myself.
vampire.
I'll make a sanity roll.
Oh. I got 32.
It's alcohol.
Yep.
Yep.
I will hold my hand up. Is it blood still?
For you.
Oh god.
And you're just watching Cal drink some down.
Boozy goodness.
What the literal fuck are you drinking?
What? Whiskey, what do you mean?
It's blood.
It was like
Cal will look at the
wide-eyed.
other two.
Yeah. Did you hit? Did you hit your head trying to knock that door down as well?
No, I didn't. Thank you.
Well, you're not drinking blood.
I swear that's what I felt in my mouth a second ago.
Well, we've all been seeing, hearing, and apparently tasting shit
Cal
for a
will
while now.
offer-
So
He will offer his hip flask to the others if they want to check it out.
I'll reach out and give it a. I'm gonna give it a sniff first, and maybe just pour like a droplet onto my hand before.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a sanity roll for me.
Triple zeros. Is that 100?
That's 100.
That is a fumble, boys and girls.
So I will say, as you're pouring it into your hand, it looks like alcohol, smells like alcohol. You take a sip, and it's almost like someone touched the bottom to make you chug more than you were expecting. Sebastian, you see blood spill from both sides of his lips as he's holding this up. It's blood. Your mouth is full of blood. You can't pull the flask away.
It's blood to me as well, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can't pull the flask away. It's like someone's holding it there for it to just run into your throat.
Whoa. That's the good stuff.
You snatch
I'm
it
gonna
back.
try
Don't go
and
wasting
reach
that.
back, and I will just try and pull the hand back.
You don't see the hand.
Oh well, not his hand.
My hand, though.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Evie's hand.
His hand, yes, you can pull back. Yeah, I thought you
Okay.
meant the hand that was like pushing
Oh
the
no.
flask.
No.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
With the two of you, at least you can get the hand away. The flask kind of sloshes down. Blood is running down.
Hopefully, no one's in the blast zone, but immediately going to just kind of like spit out,
Yeah, I'm stepping away.
and just.
Yeah, for Evie and
What?
Sebastian, it's a bloodbath in this hallway right now. You have spit up so much blood.
So rude.
Cal, that wasn't whiskey.
That was
What the?
What?
It came out as whiskey. I mean, I saw it on my hand, but.
Oh,
Ugh.
that was blood. Cow.
Well,
Emily, I'm going to have you make a sanity roll for me.
That is 8.
8. You. What sort of coping mechanism does Emily have for dealing with this scene right now?
So at first, when she first, like, the initial spew up, she stepped back and is just kind of like gripping her hands in front of her. And at this point, she's probably, after the second, plastered herself like up against the wall as far as she could, and is just kind of like bracing herself against the wall, and looking at the mess and the germs that have been excreted into the air. And just like, could we please stop drinking out of the flask that is apparently either full of whiskey or full of blood? Please. If one more person spits up on this floor, I swear I'm going to... Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Let's try this door again, shall we? And I'm going to kind of pick my way around the awfulness, maybe lift my skirts a little bit, and take the pocket watch that has like one of those, the front closure thing. It's not quite a mirror, but it's shiny. And hesitating a moment, because doors are terrifying, try to like angle it so I can see inside a little bit better. Maybe to see if the thing, like what's in the door, like just push it right to see what's holding it open.
Okay.
Or shut.
Sure. Make a spot hidden roll for me.
Okay. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah, that's a 26 out of 50.
Okay. You're kind of maneuvering this mirror. You can see it looks like the actual wardrobe has been pushed up against this door, from what you can tell. And as you're kind of moving it, there's one just slight little reflection, and you kind of focus on that for a moment. And you can see a mouth. It's like a face from just here down. It looks pretty close to the mirror, almost like at an impossible angle, or the reflection. Almost like it is like taking place of the wardrobe in a sense. Like,
okay,
there's no logical way for the person to have fit in right here. But you
like
just...
when a video game glitches and there's like a thing,
Correct.
And then a thing inside the
Yes. And you just see a mouth, and you hear it clear as day. You watch the lips move. They say, "How do you know you're on the right side of the mirror?" And then there's like a slamming sound. Go ahead and make a dexterity roll for me.
This is gonna go real well. Oh, actually, this might go really well. That's a straight 40 out of 75.
Okay, you're able to yank your arm out just in time before the door is scooted and slammed shut again.
Unceremoniously dropped on the ground on her butt with her. Did the watch come with me, or did I drop it in the...
Make a luck roll.
Okay. 16.
16.
So...
Yeah, it's clenched tightly in your fist.
Great. Did you all hear that?
The door slam?
No, the voice before it. I presume not. Lovely. Well,
But someone's behind there, though. The door just slammed closed.
What did you see?
well, there's a wardrobe, or at least there was. I thought there was a wardrobe. I saw a wardrobe pushed up against the door. That's what was holding it shut. And then a face, an impossible face. It doesn't make any sense. It said, "How do you know you're on the right side of the mirror?" And I'll look now in the pocket watch. I'll open it back up. Do I see anything other than myself, or do I not see myself?
You just see yourself.
Normal.
And as you're kind of focusing on this pocket watch, you hear the creaking of the door as it is slowly opening.
Jump back. All right, I guess scrambled back because I'm on the floor.
I pull out my gun.
As
Yeah.
do I.
Dr. Glass's door just creaks open.
Like as if there was nothing in front of it.
Correct.
Well, perhaps we go in together. But be careful.
I will hold out my hand to help Miss O'Hara up. If she would like it.
Is there still blood on your hand from when you spewed it up?
Wiped it off now, probably.
She eyes it for a moment and then lets you help her up. Oh god, she freaks out a little bit with the just like, oh god.
Sorry.
No, from on the floor. She probably
Yeah.
landed in some. I assume.
Yeah, probably. That's why I'm saying sorry.
Oh.
All right, so we're heading in the room.
Cal will make his way on point. He's
Okay.
not going to let that happen again.
Against our better judgment, I think this warrants investigation.
I suggest we stick close.
All right.
Good.
So, with Cal kind of taking point of this, but everybody heading into this room, you walk in and it smells like stale air. There is this door hasn't been opened much. It smells like sickness. Emily stops at the door. Emily is not able to walk into this room. It smells like a mix of sickness and almost like ammonia, and you are able to see as you're stepping inside the bed across from the doorway. You see a woman tied to this bed inside of this room. Her skin is pale and gray at the same time, and you see some sort of an IV in her arm, connected to a red tube. You follow the tube to an IV bag. No. A blood bag. But as you look a little more, you see that the tube is also in her mouth, brought up by her other hand. She smiles at you as she notices you, and you see blood leak from her lips before she begins to drink again. She has punctured the IV fluid tube and is sucking the blood from it. What is everyone's immediate reaction?
I feel like Emily almost faints. She might actually faint.
Here,
I don't know.
Emily?
But she...
Roll a
Yeah.
d10. For Emily, roll a d10. The other three, what are you doing?
It's a 2.
I'm just standing there with my mouth like wide open. Like my like gun has sort of like dropped out of my hands, and I am just like staring at her.
Yeah, I think just locked on. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think Cal will have a very similar expression, but his gun is instinctively pointing in the way of, in the direction of.
Yeah, so one gun kind of drops a little bit. The other gun comes up even further. Evie mutters, "What the fuck?" like under his breath. Emily, you are completely frozen in fear. You're not able to move. You want to run. You want to sprint down this hallway. You want to get the fuck out of here. But your legs, your arms, you can't move. You're paralyzed in fear right now. And at this point, you see the door open. That seems to lead almost to like the next room over, like an adjoining room sort of situation. The door opens and Dr. Glass sees you with a shocked face. He looks like he hasn't slept. He looks to you. He looks to his wife. And back to you with his mouth open, trying to think of what to say. And then he says, "I told you. She's quite ill.